Hey guys, my name is Ashley and welcome to my channel. I hope you guys are all having an awesome day. I do apologize in advance if my voice sounds a little funny in this video. I do have a cold, so my voice sounds a little bit off right now, but I did want to record a voiceover because I do want to have a video uploaded today, which actually will be tomorrow because I'm recording this the night before. So please bear with me. I hope I can get through this. I did film a shorter video this time, so hopefully that is okay with you guys. I did put a poll on my Instagram asking what you guys wanted me to build, whether you wanted me to build a two-story or a tiny house. And the voting was in favor of a two-story, but because I have a cold, this is all I can manage to build today. So I hope you guys enjoy. So I wanted to build a tiny house, and the story for this house, it is a single dad with 3 children. And I know that sounds kind of crazy to be in a tiny house with 3 children, but if you guys watch HGTV, you know that people can make it work. So originally I was going for more of a rustic look for this house, and I ended up completely scrapping that idea and going for a more modern build, which I really like. I actually prefer it over the rustic look that I had. But I had a lot of trouble building a tiny house. And I mean, in the grand scheme of things, you know, you guys might comment and say, well, this doesn't really look like a tiny house. But my thought was the tiny house depends on how many Sims you have in that house. And since there were 4 Sims in this house, I still think it's pretty small. But if you guys want even smaller houses in the future, let me know in the comments below. But let's just get right into this build. I didn't really know what I was going to do with this house. It kind of just like happened like as I was developing this house. I actually spent most likely double the amount of time trying to figure out the layout of this house than I would have in a normal house. I did not plan this in advance, and that was really bad on my part. I should have been planning and figuring out what kind of style I wanted for this house and what kind of design I wanted. So I spent a lot of time on the exterior, and I ended up cutting that out of this video because it was a mess, like an absolute mess, and I was so frustrated. And I had to actually stop building this house and walk away because I don't know if you guys have ever been in that situation where you are trying to build a house and you're just not happy with how it's turning out, or you scrap the whole thing and then you kind of feel defeated. But once I changed my mind from more of like a rustic house to this modern house, then it all started to come together and I was really happy with the outcome of this house. So I just did fairly simple landscaping. I just went in with orange and white. I tried to pull in the orange colors to match the front door. And then I did end up kind of gravitating towards orange color throughout the house. I don't really necessarily try to get my houses to be all matchy-matchy, but in this case, I just really liked all the orange tones and the colors. So it's very modern, mid-century, I would say, or I kind of had the idea of going for a more mid-century vibe in this house. I'm not really sure if I actually accomplished that in this house. If you guys could comment below and let me know if you think this kind of is a mid-century modern house, or if you think I was way off. Any tips are always appreciated. And the roof was a little bit different. I decided to add a glass roof to the left-hand side of this house. In real life, that might not be the best idea. I think a lot of people would probably not like having a glass roof, especially if it's sunny out, and I'm just thinking of the heat that might be coming in that house would most likely be very uncomfortable and not really something that people would want to live with. But let's just say that this family has air conditioning and they are okay with the glass roof. I don't really have much of a backstory other than it's a single dad with 3 children, but I had this idea that maybe he was an artist or he was a graphic designer, and that's why a lot of the furniture and decor in this house is a little on the higher end, or not necessarily like family friendly, if that makes sense. Not saying that if you have mid-century or nicer furniture in your house that that's not family friendly, but I just think he kind of has this idea of what kind of decor he wants in his house, and he definitely likes pulling in a lot of these like artsy type rugs and art prints, just things that are a little bit on the more eccentric side, if that makes sense. With this house, I definitely went in with more of the warmer tones and a lot of orange. You will see that throughout this house. I just kind of think that orange is one of the main colors when people are building mid-century modern homes. I mean, that's just my opinion and kind of things that I've seen in the past. Like if I'm watching like HGTV or I'm reading a design magazine, it's just kind of like one of those main colors that just pops like with mid-century. So that's kind of where I was going. And really I pulled inspiration from that front door, the orange color. So that was my inspiration for this entire house. And again, with a tiny house, I kept the clutter to kind of a minimum. I didn't go too crazy with clutter. I added a lot of plants, again, using a lot of vases in the orange tones, and then throwing in some plants to add greenery. And then with the art, I didn't go too crazy, so I just kind of played off of that print because it had orange in it. Not really sure if that is technically a mid-century modern art piece. And then on this corner here, or this wall I should say, I was going to put in like a little console table or like a bookcase, and I ended up deleting that and just leaving the mirror because I wanted to keep the clutter, like again I said, like very minimal in this house. And then for the kitchen, I just did one long wall of cabinets with the stove, dishwasher and fridge, and then I went in again with the warm wood tones and oranges. Orange is not really a color that I thought that I would like, but I've been loving it. I have been adding it in so many builds. I'm not sure why, but I think it's just so fun. It's so vibrant and it looks really good when you take your screenshots. And then for the backsplash, I really wanted to use some of these tiles from Jungle Adventure, but I couldn't find anything that would match the rest of the wall, like the white color. So I ended up picking this tile, which is quite fun because it's got a lot of orange tones and it just kind of screams like mid-century modern to me, just like the colors that are in that tile. So I really liked that. And since this is a smaller house or a tiny house, I maximized the space in the kitchen by adding a lot of shelves, and that's where I put the clutter. So I put like plates and glasses, a little bit of decor, and then over the sink I added that really cute little like paper towel or towel rack. I thought that was really cute. Just it's got like a little soap on it. I can't remember what pack that's from, but if you guys know, just leave it in the comments below because I am having a major brain fart right now. And I know I said that there are 3 children and the dad in this house, and I know that the dining set is very small. It's only a 2-seater. I'm just assuming that, you know, they eat at different times or they eat in the living room as well all together. So I didn't really think much of that when I was building the dining space. But again, I think the fact that the kids have grown up in a tiny house, they just make it work. And then I move on to the bathroom, and I end up extending this bathroom into one of the bedrooms. It was on the small side. I could have just put a shower and toilet in there because obviously the Sims can use the kitchen sink to wash their hands, but I didn't like that idea because I've never been to a house that doesn't have a sink in the bathroom. If you have ever seen that, I would be extremely curious to know if you have ever been into a bathroom that did not have a sink. I think that'd be really weird because, I mean, when you go to the washroom, you definitely want to wash your hands. So for the bathroom, I kept it very simple. I went in with this very nice tile. I think that just really pops that orange color. And then with the shower, I just added a orange wall color because I thought that just kind of looked really cool. And then a toilet, and then a sink and a mirror, and just a little bit of art and a plant, and that was about it for the bathroom. Now I'm on to the dad's room. So I wanted to pull in the orange tones again, so I picked this bed, which is super fun. I love the color. And then I tried to maximize the space as much as possible, so I added a wall-mounted TV and this mid-century modern dresser. Added this shoe rack. I did downsize the shoe rack, so the shoes look really small. And then I added some art. This is CC art, but when I upload to the gallery, I do remove all CC and just put like base game items in the builds, because obviously I want everyone to be able to download and play this, and I don't want them to have to worry about the CC. I just put CC in some of my builds just for pictures, because I think it just looks really cool. And yeah, that's about it for the dad's room. And then I decided to put 2 toddler beds in one room. Obviously, if the kids get bigger and you need larger beds, that might be a little bit of a problem. You might be able to use like the teenage girls' room and put 2 beds in there, and then put 1 bed in this room. It's just the layout, because I did have to take some of the space from this bedroom for that bathroom. So I went in with a really fun color for these toddlers, or these tiny people. I went in with a really pretty teal color, and then I just did 2 accent wall colors with the teal, and I left the rest of the walls white. And then I pulled in that color for the bedding, and then I went in with the orange again, because like I said, I wanted to kind of keep the rooms a little bit cohesive. And then I added this fun bookcase, and again, it was in the warmer wood tones. And then just very minimal art on the walls, or like decor on the walls. Because I'm assuming like this dad, like he doesn't go crazy with buying his kids, like obviously he loves them and cares for them, but he's not really into materialistic items. So he just kind of buys what the kids need, and the kids have grown up with that. So, you know, they're quite content with what they have. And then I just add a little bit of art on the walls, and then a couple little toys, a stuffy, and then I move on to the teenagers' room. And with this room, I wanted to do a lot of white tones in this room, so I didn't go too crazy with orange in this room. And then I have seen a lot of builders recently kind of do this idea where they have a bookcase, and then they add the bed like in front of the bookcase, so it kind of looks like it's like storage above the bed, which I thought was really cool. And then she doesn't have a dresser in this room, so I just put this this clothes rack, there we go, speak English. And then just some clutter for her, nail polish, perfume, and then a backpack and a mirror for her. And then I did add a small desk and a computer for her. And then I went in with just some kind of fun art. I wanted to really pull in the pretty blues and purples of the posters that I put on her wall. And that is about it for this build. A very quick build. It was a lot of fun, even though it was a bit of a challenge at the beginning. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, that would mean the world to me. And if you guys have any suggestions for videos that you would like to see in the future, just leave it in the comments below, or you can always find me on Instagram and send me a message on there. But until next time, I hope you guys enjoyed this build. And yeah, thanks so much. Bye.
Why we have to try.